Let's see how to create your first Mailchimp automation. If you come here under automation, you can use some of the templates. So if you want to create your first automation, come here under automation. You can also get it under create. And let's just choose a flow template. So let's start with this one, welcome new contacts. So let's click on this. So it's adding the different items from our brand. So this flow will send an introductory email welcoming the user. So let's click there on turn on. Of course, that is a very bad user experience. It just shows you the button. Contacts will begin entering the flow as soon as the starting trigger criteria are met. You can check back on it to monitor its progress. Okay, so if this was a live automation, you can see I haven't even edited it, but let's delete it and start again. So pause it. If you want to delete it, pause it, and then delete the flow. Let's choose a template again, and we're going to choose the same one. This time round, at least let's see how we can edit it. So I'll come there. It has generated that email for me. Let's first of all edit the email. You can also just edit it here. If you want to change the image, you can replace the image that you have there. Use that. Next. So it has my logo and that. Let me replace that image. Say I want to use that. So if you want to edit the email in the builder, you can also click there to edit the email. To and from address. From that, you can edit the to and from. It will automatically take this from the list, from the audience settings. Subject, welcome to Bizanosa. You can change this based on your marketing, cancel that, and then schedule. So you can select when you want this to be sent out. Okay, so maybe you don't want it sent every day. You want it sent from Monday to Friday. But naturally, if somebody signs up, whenever they sign up, you should just send it out immediately. That's why you just select all the days there. And then what time of day should the email be sent? You can send it as soon as possible because it's a welcome email. If you change anything, make sure you save. You can also send it within a specific time period. So after you edit the settings, you can just click there on close. Now you'll be inside of your workflow. This is now where you can add more items. Maybe after this, welcome email has been sent. So let's just look at it. Here, what's going to happen is somebody will sign up to your list. Okay. And here as well, if you want this welcome email to only work for a specific form or a specific landing page, a specific tagged audience, that's something you can do. Once you click on it there, click on it, this will come up. You can also change the trigger, but we'll leave the trigger at the default, which is signs up for email. And you need to also select include imported contacts. So if you want to create a different welcome email for imported contacts, and you saw how to import contacts. So if you want to include imported contacts in this, you can select it, but probably it doesn't make sense to include the imported contacts because somebody that signs up on your Mailchimp form probably signed up for a specific reason. So that's what you should focus on. If you want to send it to imported contacts, you can do so, but you can create a different welcome email for imported contacts just to tell them that we are now using Mailchimp. Your list has been imported, and you can do so by filtering with a trigger. So if you say include imported contacts, you'd then go here and you'd select the tag that you have for imported contacts. So when you import contacts, you can tag them. So just select that tag, tags, contact is tagged and is tagged as import, right? So this is just an example, and this will only send to the imported contacts. This will be like a segment of its own. So you can click there to use segment. But of course, I don't want to use this filter. That was just a demonstration to show you if you wanted to just send it to the specific imported individuals. So I'm going to uncheck that and save the trigger. So somebody signs up, and then you can select the next step. So in this case, we have a step here, welcome email. Let's click on this and see what you can do with it. Let's click on email content to see if we can edit the template that we send out, considering you might want to provide a download item, a coupon, a link. Right, so you can edit the template there. When you click on content, you can edit the content. Thank you for joining the Bizanosa community. Change this to match the message you want to send. And then there's a button here. You can edit the link. You can see the link has been set to your primary business website. So if you want to change that, of course, you can change it to a download item. So let's say we want to give out a download file. So I'll add the file. You can upload from device, or you can get it from your content studio. Let's use some of the samples we added earlier. I can select that, insert. You can also change the copy, say download the ebook. Probably the reason why they signed up. This one as well, you can change the button color styles. Color of the button, change it to that. If you want to add anything there, you can add it. Since I already connected my Shopify, I can actually add the products there. So you can add a product, and this is because the integration I did with Shopify. So, and then add these 3 products. At the bottom, you can add, click on done. At the bottom, you can add a button just to say something like view full store. View full store. Add the link to your store. Add the link to your store. You can change the color for the button if you want to. And assuming that's all you want to say in the welcome email, of course, for this, you can also add some form of introduction. So let's put a heading there. Top picks. And this will be sent to every new subscriber. And then you can save and return to Journey. You can end it right there and say that this is only for the welcome email, but you can take it further. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it further. Once the first email has been sent, let's add another step. You can select what's going to trigger the next email. One of the easiest ones is time delay. So you say that once you send the first welcome email, you can wait for maybe 3 days, wait for 1 week, and send another email. So here you just select maybe wait for 5 days, save, and after 5 days, you'll send an email. If you want to do an A/B testing, you can use a split path. Maybe 50% of people will receive one email or another. That's something you can do there. And then, so we already have time delay. After 5 days, send an email, send an SMS. You want to show a webhook. You want to send a survey in email. You want to group you want to tag an audience, you want to unsubscribe an email, update contact, and so on. So whatever you want to do, naturally, you probably want to send an email. All right, so you'd create the email from that is there, subject. Maybe, did you know that we can help you? We can help you save on hosting. Let me do save on web hosting, and then I'll just generate. So I'll just put that in there, copy, and I can generate possible subject and previews. Yeah, this seems natural, so I can go with that. So you can also use this to generate titles, to generate subjects and preview texts for your email. Just give it the theme of what you'd like the title to be about. And then I'll save. And then the schedule for this. When do you want this to be sent out? Right? Do you want it to be sent out every day? Maybe you don't want it to be sent on Sundays. Maybe you don't want it to be sent on Saturdays. So I just select that, and Saturday and Sunday. That's just an example, but you should probably just send them on the days when you want your email to be sent to your subscribers. What time of day should the email be sent? So you can only send between a certain time. If it doesn't send on a specific day, it will be between 8 a.m. and between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Right? So maybe you want to send to your subscribers when they are at work, but this is also not reliable because your subscribers are probably in different time zones. That's just an example, but you can just send it as soon as possible. Send it as soon as possible, and then save. Design your email by starting with a template. Select a template. You can design any one of these templates. You can pick any template and just edit it. You can use one of your saved templates. So if you want to save yourself time, just design your templates in advance and use them. So in this case, you see the templates that I designed earlier, I can use them here. So let's just apply this as an example. And if you want to change anything in the email, you can do so. In my case, I'm just going to leave it as it is and save and return to Journey. So here, this is probably because the email still has some sample content. So make sure you edit your email well. And then maybe after sending that, you still want to send another email. This time around, you want to do maybe a testing with 2 emails. So you come here and you split the path. 50% can receive, save that. 50% can receive 1 email template. Send an email. Set subject. And then maybe by service. Generate. These are just samples. You're going to have to design your automation. The good thing is that you just set time aside, design it once, and then it will just continue running. Apply that. Save. And then select a template. So if you already have templates that you've created, it will save you a lot of time. In fact, this is where you should start. Once you design your workflow, make sure that you design the templates in advance so that you can just come in here and pick the template you want to use. save and return to journey. And you can see this one also has the error because of the sample content. So I can't use this in production, but for you, you'll have to edit your email to make sure it has actual email content. Mine has samples from Mailchimp. That's why I'm getting that red error. So this side as well. So this 50% will receive this email, another 50% will receive this other email. So send email. And it's just the same thing again. By service. Generate. Apply there. Apply that. Maybe you're trying to see which one will get more clicks, which email will get more clicks, and just use that moving forward. Select a template. Go to your saved templates. You can also use recently sent emails. So apply that. I'll just save and return to journey. And you can see this other email doesn't have any error because it doesn't have sample content. So make sure that you edit your emails well. So once you get here, you can exit. If this is where you want it to end, you can exit. So we're just going to do one more. Let's do one more and see what else we can add here. So if else, wait for trigger. So let's do an example whereby we do a wait for trigger. So, and the trigger is marketing activity clicks on an email link. If they click, so the email campaign that you sent, select that, okay? Email contacts from your automation flow. Let's change this to something else. Let's change the wait condition. Marketing activity, clicks any email link, opens email, click, okay, this is the one I want, clicks a specific email link. That is easier to track. So you'll choose an email campaign. So if they click on, let's select the second email and the URL that was clicked, maybe it's our website. So the URL that you want to see if they clicked, maybe they clicked to look at your services, and that will be a good sign because maybe they're interested, and you can put them in a different tag. You can tag them as someone that might be a potential lead. So set a time limit for this. So the URL must be like a URL. Let me just get a real URL. Copy, come back, paste, and then set a time limit. If a contact doesn't meet the condition within this time limit, they will move to the next touch point. So you can set a time limit, but I'll just leave it without a time limit. So basically what will happen here, let's start from the top. Somebody signs up. They'll receive a welcome email instantly, and then you wait 5 days, send them another email, and then at this point you want to test a certain email. You want to test 2 different emails, and you can send this. But here as well, I noticed that there's a mistake because it will send this email and then send this email. So why don't we add a wait? You add a wait there so that the email that you're going to send, these 2 emails, this A/B split will be done after maybe another 1 week. So let me just leave it at 1 week delay, save. So send the first email, wait for 1 week, and then send a split email. First 50% contacts, send this email. The next, send that email. And then this one. And then you're going to, once you send this email, you might want to check if they clicked on a specific link. If they clicked on a specific link, you will do something. So that's the next step here. So here as well, we need to do this. This side as well, we need to set up something like this. If they clicked on that email, it would be great if I could give this email a name. Okay, there we go. My mistake. We can name all these emails. So let's start from the top and give them a name. This way we can track them inside of this campaign, inside of this automation. So the first one we know is a welcome email. The second email, let's give it a name, edit, and let's rename it and call it, or let's just call it email 2. Email 2. So of course, in your case, in your marketing, you know what it is, maybe introduction to your services or whatever. So I'll save that and close. So here, wait 1 week, randomly split the contacts, and then let's give this email a name that it is easy to recognize. So I'll call this email AB test left. AB left. Save. And then this one, I can call it AB edit. I can call this AB email AB test right. And then save. And then close the automation. Right. So now they're easier to track. So let's go back and edit this. Remember, this was supposed to track a specific link. So I'll click on it. And now we can select the right draft email from there. So we can say we want this. Of course, we'll track the AB left, which is the email on the left side here. So selected link. Okay, so it doesn't have this link. Let's go and edit that email and add some sort of link like that. Or this email, let's edit it. Edit. Click on email content, and you can add a link that you want to track. If somebody clicks that link, that is a potential lead. So it seems like there is nowhere I have that link. So let me click on this. And okay, how about this one? Web, let's add this link, paste. And then save and return to Jenny. So we're going to track that closely. If somebody clicks on that link, that is a potential lead. They're interested in our services. That's why they're clicking on that link. So let's come back and edit this. So it was AB left. The email is not giving us any error now because the email actually has that link. And then I will save. Drag this other end on this end as well. Let's see, can we duplicate? Okay, copy, paste here. Okay, so when you copy, you can see there's that giving you the option to paste. So let me click it to paste it there. So on the right side, let's edit it. And on the right side, we are going to track the AB email right. And does it have that link? Yes. So we're going to save. Up to this point, you can end the automation by putting this somewhere. So contact on a specific link in email. So if they click the link in that email, we are going to tag them. So let us take an action of tagging, tag or untag. So we'll tag them, and then if the tag exists, we'll use that tag. If the tag doesn't exist, let's see, we can create a new tag and call it lead. Click lead, and then create the tag, and then action, add to to that tag. Okay, and then save. So of course it's not that easy. You'll have to probably send a couple of more emails. I don't have the time. I don't want the video to be too long, but you'd probably have to send 1 week after another, probably for a whole month, even a couple of months, just trying to turn this customer into a buyer. So once we add that, let's copy it again, copy that, and I'll paste it there. So in the end, we're going to have, it's going to end by tagging the leads. So it's actually easy to use. As you can see, somebody signs up. Let me do an overview of this and then I can end the video. Somebody signs up to your list, and we've said as long as they sign up, it doesn't matter from which source, they will receive the welcome email immediately. And then after they receive the welcome email, wait another 5 days and then send them this email. And then wait another 1 week and then send them another email. And this time round, we just don't want to send the same email to everyone. We want to send this email to the first 50%, and another 50% will receive this other email. And then for this email, maybe we are pushing really hard, trying to get them to buy a service, to buy our product. So we add certain links there, and we track that. When they open it and they click a specific link, we'll automatically assume that they're a good lead, and we'll tag them as a good lead. The ones that receive this email, they will also be tracked, and if they click on a specific link, they will be tagged into the same tag, and then the automation will exit from there. So once you reach this end, the contact can exit and the workflow will end, but you can also move them to another path. So for example, if on this side you want to move them to this side, you can select where you want to move them. Maybe you want to move them now from here. You choose to select, you choose to send another email on this path, you can do so. But it doesn't make sense in our scenario since we have this A/B testing. So we're just going to exit the flow. So assuming this is our automation, we can continue. Okay, so it's just warning me that some of the templates I've used are using sample content from Mailchimp. So I'm just going to continue. So there's an issue with this step. Make sure this email does not have default content. I will need to edit the two email templates to make sure that they don't have sample content, which is actually not that easy to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create another template. This is just for my example because I'm using Mailchimp examples. In your case, this is not going to be a problem since you'll have to edit your emails. So let me come here, edit the email, edit email content. So instead of doing this, let me go to Mailchimp, come back to content, email templates. Let me create a simple template that I can use. I'll choose a minimal template, apply, give it a name, clean sample. Here I can say, I'm just going to copy text from here, copy, paste, remove all this, copy, paste, add image, use that image insert, and then for this I can say visit, and then I can add a link, the link I want to track, paste any sample content here. I don't think so. Save and exit. All right, so if I go back to automation, our welcome new contact series, I can click on it to edit it. And any email with a problem, I can replace it with that email. So if I just click on it, remove, you're deleting this step. Yes, delete action. And I can add it again. So after 1 week delivery, send an email. And this one will be fast. Make sure you give it a name this time round. Rename it fast email. Let me click on this to continue editing this. So to and from that, I'll just leave. You can edit it and then set a new pretext. So here I can generate, let's say, more about us. Generate. So I can go with that as my subject. Save. Schedule every day. So this one, I'll just leave it there because I don't want to change when it will be sent. And then I will go and select a template. So as I've said, design your template in advance to save you time. That is the hardest part, designing the template and then just attaching them to your automations. So in this case, I can click on saved templates and I'll use the clean template. I'll save and return to Journey. So you can see that one is now clean. We still have to do this one. Edit email content. There's usually a place you can change the template. Save as a template, change template. There we go. I can change the template. Use a saved template and then use that email. Yes, change template. Save and return to Journey. This side is clean. We are ready to continue. So let's continue. Your flow is live. Continue. So the flow is live. If you want to edit it, you'll have to pause it. You can view it, you can replicate it and edit it. We can just test and see if it's going to send me an email. Where is our hosted sign-up form? Click there on Form Builder. We can get this link. Open link in a new tab. We can sign up. Location, all this. I'll just leave it as it is. My captcha is enabled. So I have to select all this. Go to email and confirm. There we go. Confirm. Yes, subscribe me to this list. There, confirm subscription. I'm receiving 2 welcome emails because, and I'm not going to tell you why, just figure out why I'm receiving the automation email. This is a email that I set up through my automation. This is a first welcome email that has been sent as a result of my automation. Now, your assignment is to figure out why I'm receiving this other welcome email. If you watched the full course, then you know why. So that's your assignment. And make sure you uncheck it so that you don't receive this, since you already have a nice looking welcome email that you've set up through your automation. So that's on you. Figure out why. And if you know why, you can just comment and let the other people know. All right, so we've confirmed that our automation is working. If somebody signs up, let's go to automation. If somebody signs up, they will get this first email and it will continue. So you can also see that it has been sent once. The open rate has not registered, and now this one is in queue. So after 5 days, it will be sent. And then another 1 week will pass and they will send this email, and then there will be an A/B testing that will be sent. This right here is how to set up your automation. We have tested it and we have seen that it's working. So in the next video, let's see how we can set up just something similar that uses this tag. Our trigger will be this tag. You can see the data there. Contact started 1. So 1 contact has been sent. Contacts in progress 1. So the automation is in flow. That's it for this video. In the next one, let's do a final automation. And we're just going to do something similar to what we've done. And then after that, we can see how we can set up abandoned carts. See you in that next video.